Hi everyone, welcome to our channel Code with Sunny, and today I am going to discuss the problem arithmetic slices of lead code, and the index number is 413 and the problem is of medium type. Okay, now let's jump directly into the problem statement. In this problem we have been given a sequence of numbers, and the sequence of numbers, or we can say a subarray of this array, is called arithmetic if it consists of at least 3 elements and if the difference between any two consecutive elements is the same. And there are some arithmetic sequences given in this. As you can see, 1 3 5 7 9 our arithmetic sequence is an example of arithmetic sequence, because you can see the consecutive element difference. If you calculate the consecutive element difference, then you can find it is coming out to be 2 for every consecutive element. So we can claim that this sequence is a example of arithmetic sequence. Similarly, 7 7 7 7, here also the consecutive element difference is 0 for every adjacent element, and similarly in this array also. Note that this array, that is 1 1 2 5 7, is not an arithmetic sequence. Why this is not an arithmetic sequence? This is because if you calculate the consecutive difference, that is between 1 1 and between 1 2 and between 5 2 and between 7 5, then it would come out that all the elements, all these values, that is consecutive difference values, is not coming out to be same. That is here, in this case you will get 0, that is in the case of 1 1, and in the case of 2 1 2 you will get the value as 1. Now here is the what here is the value that you can see. The consecutive element difference is not coming out to be what same, so this sequence is not going to be arithmetic. So a sequence is arithmetic if and only if every consecutive elements, that is every adjacent element of this array, has the difference exactly equal to the what only one value. That is all the elements, all the consecutive elements have the same difference. So what we have to find in this problem is, we have to find number of subarrays, actually a number of subarrays having length at least 3, and all these subarrays having length at least 3 is must be arithmetic, that is must be an example of arithmetic sequence. That is, we have been given an array of length n, let's say we have to find number of subarrays of length at least 3, and that subarray must be what arithmetic. So how we are going to find this and how we are going to approach this problem, let's move on further. Okay, so first we are going to understand what is given in this problem and what we have to find. Basically, we have been given a sequence of n numbers, and we have to find the number of subarrays of length at least 3, and consecutive difference between the elements of the current subarray is same. That's what we have to find. Okay, also note that what here, okay, the number of test cases, and it is not visible here. So let's move on further. So suppose we have a example here 1 2 3 4, then what you can see, note that we have to find the length of this subarray of length at least 3. So how we are going to find this subarray? So if we have only one here, that is only one element of the array, note that its length is not its length is what less than 3. So this is not going to be what our valid arithmetic sequence. So if we now we have 2, then again it has length what less than 3. So this is not going to be what a valid arithmetic sequence. So if we now append 3 to the back side of this my current array, note that the subarray length is going to be what exactly 3, and this may be a valid arithmetic sequence. So what we have to do is, now we have to check if the if this subarray, let me say, array is a valid what, let me write clearly, it's a valid arithmetic sequence or not. How we are going to check this is a valid arithmetic sequence or not? So let us calculate the adjacent element difference, that is what 2 minus 1 and what 3 minus 2, and if we calculate this, you can find both are coming out to be what 1, and these two ones are exactly same, that is all the elements are same. If we calculate the adjacent element difference, then we can claim this is the what, valid arithmetic sequence. And similarly, if you calculate 2 3 4, that is the element present at what index equal to 2 3 and 4, then you can also claim that this is also what, let me write, valid arithmetic what sequence. This is also a valid arithmetic sequence of length 3. And similarly, these are for length 3. So let us calculate for length equal to 4. So if we are going to calculate length equal to 4, that is arithmetic sequence of length equal to 4, we must include 4 elements, 4 consecutive elements. So and the array size is 4. So let's take all the elements. So if we take off the all the elements of this array, that is 4 consecutive elements, we have 1 2 3 and 4. So here again, if we calculate the consecutive element difference, then what we are going to find is it is again going to be 1 for every adjacent element. Let me write, okay, for every adjacent element. Here you can also that this is also our what, valid arithmetic sequence. So total number of what, let me write total number of valid arithmetic sequence of this array, that is array of length 4, as I have taken the examples 1 2 3 4, will be what, exactly equal to what, 3, that is what, 1 2 3 2 3 4, and the complete array is going to be our answer. So how we are going to proceed this problem in a most efficient way, in a what we can say, the best way to solve this problem would be what, dynamic programming. So let's move on to the approach of this problem. So let's define a state of dynamic programming. So what is a state and what we are going to do further? So you are going to watch this very carefully, okay. So for any index greater than 0 and index less than n, let us define a state dp of I, that is for ith index including the ith index, the what this value is going to denote, dp of I is going to denote number of arithmetic slices, that is number of what the slices that we are going to form the sequence, number of arithmetic slices formed till ai, that is up to the value of index I, that is element present at the index I. And now let us initialize the base cases, that is if n is less than 3, note that there will be no subarray of length at least 3. So in this case I am going to return my answer as 0. And now for any index greater than 1 up to the index less than n, here we are using the 0 based indexing. So for any index greater than 1 and index less than n, if we pick up the consecutive 3 elements for the current index I, that is for let me write for better understanding, okay, for index so let's say we are current index I, for any index I, if we are going to check if including this element at its extreme, that is for the rightmost side, if there exists a subarray of length 3, that is going to be what, a valid arithmetic sequence, that is if a of I is going to be a difference between the a of I and a of I minus 1 is going to be exactly equal to a of I minus 1, and let me, here is a typo, okay, a of I minus 1 minus a of I minus 2, then we can claim that including this will give the valid arithmetic sequence. That's why we are adding one value because of this, plus dp of I would be what, number of arithmetic slices formed till ai, so we have to add dp of I minus 1 also, otherwise our answer would be what, if this condition is going to be false, dp of I would be going to be 0. And note that we have initialized dp, that is the entire dp array with 0, okay. So this is the major criteria to proceed with the dynamic programming states. So let's move on to the code. Okay, so here we have what, I have taken n as a number of arithmetic slices, and if n is going to be less than 3, then there will not be any subarray of length at least 3. So I'm going to return 0 here. So this will indicate that we haven't found any a valid sequence of numbers. Now let us define a DP, that is dynamic programming array DP, and the state of the DP, that is DP of I, is going to denote the number of arithmetic slices formed ending with what, the index I. Let's say we are at index I, then the DP of I is going to denote the number of arithmetic slices formed till AI. Now what I am going to do is I am going to start with index. If we consider 0 based indexing, then I am going to start with index what, 2. Note that 0 and 1 are skipped, and I am going to start with 2 because I have to check every time the previous two indexes. So it is better to doesn't, if we doesn't want our code to get us a runtime error, so it will be better if we start with 2 every time. Okay. Now dp of I will be the sum of total arithmetic number of arithmetic slices formed till ai minus 1 plus arithmetic slices formed due to the current value, that is current element ai. Okay, so I am going to check the condition. If this condition is going to be true, then we can claim that our answer up to dp of I will be incremented by 1, and the previous value is going to be added to the current state of dp, because dp of I is going to denote the number of arithmetic slices formed ending with what, ai. So if this for loop is going to be ended, then note that our answer would be what, sum of all the arithmetic values formed till ai. So I am going to take the summation, that is sum of all the dp values starting with index 0 up to the index n minus 1. This will be our answer. So let us run this code and check out if this is going to give us the valid correct answer, and this will be faster or not. Okay, yes, it is very faster code. Okay, so if you have any doubts, do not forget to mention in the comment section of the video, and I will ask the viewers to like this video, share this video, or do subscribe to my YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you for watching this video.